This has New York Yankees fans very concerned, as the Yankees have learned something about themselves that has to be fixed, as this team is seriously struggling in one area of the game that is not really being talked about enough, and Yankee fans will start to call on Brian Cashman to make a move that nobody would have expected just a few years ago, but now it feels like it might have to happen, as Yankee fans are about to lose their minds, and rightfully so. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Yankees Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys are part of that 75% that's not subscribed to Yankees Digest, we got daily content like this. You do not want to miss out on all the fun stuff we're talking about. No matter what happens with the New York Yankees, even though they're on a losing streak right now, we're still going to have a great time, and we're going to have some fun talking Yankees baseball. Also, I'll likely be at the game on Thursday, so if you see this ugly face and probably that Jazz Chisholm New York Knicks jersey thing, come say hi. It'd be cool. I love interacting with the fans. But let's jump into this. There's a lot to go over. Look, the Yankees have an issue, and Brian Cashman is going to have to fix this. And honestly, there's more than one issue with the Yankees. Obviously, there's one we know about third base, but we're not talking about that today. We talk about that all the time. Aaron Boone has a problem with the way that he manages the team, and there's no doubt about it. And this is nothing new. I think a lot of us have been anti-Boone for a bit of time now, but there's something he's doing glaringly wrong that makes you feel like he's just not making any adjustments to this team in game at all. And I'm not saying putting in pinch hitters, stuff like that. I'm saying his strategy, it might just suck after all. And on top of that, New York Yankee fans are starting to turn on Anthony Volpe as well after an abysmal night that really got capped off by Volpe just screwing up and playing a huge part in the Yankees losing to the Los Angeles Angels in a game that, you know, sucked to watch all of when the Yankees went to the extra innings and didn't score a run all night. That was fun. But, look, at the end of the day, what we saw is Yankee fans finally start to lose their minds and call on Brian Cashman to make a change. As Anthony Volpe, as we know, grounded out to lose the game. The bases were loaded. Dominguez was on third. I mean, you could friggin' you could barely hit it to the outfield. Dominguez is going to get home. So it was just an infuriating moment as Volpe swung on the first pitch, and Yankee fans, for the first time, really started to truly lose their minds over Anthony Volpe in a way that is kind of new in comparison to what it used to be. And Jack Fungo mentioned that, as unbelievable as it sounds, the Yankees entirely have sucked during this entire extra innings. They've played 9 extra innings this season with a runner auto starting on second base. They have scored just once. 8 times out of 9, they have left the automatic runner on the bases. And on top of that, this is nothing new. What we've also seen is the Yankees in extra innings this season are hitting with a .077 batting average. Their slash line is .077, 194, and .077. So the OPS is a nice, what's that, a 260 something? 271? Yeah, 271. Great OPS, guys. We're really killing it for a team that has Aaron Judge. Like, first of all, it's not just Judge. You also have the guy who's going to start at first base right now in the All-Star game, and Paul Goldschmidt. Giancarlo Stanton's back. He played well. He actually got a hit in the extras. He got a double. He rounded first and kept going, showing that he's still Giancarlo Stanton. About 26 at-bats. They have 2 hits in that process. They have 0 extra bases. That's not fully true now because Stanton. But on top of that, they have 1 run scored, 1 sac fly, so still got out in the process. 4 walks and 8 strikeouts. They have been terrible in extra innings, and the team is so much better than that you start to turn and wonder, just what the hell did Aaron Boone do to force this to happen? Now, I know it's not just on Boone. The players got to be better, but still, it's an issue. And Boone was asked about Volpe swinging on the first pitch and grounding out and losing the game, and if that was a bad choice. And he said, not necessarily. The first pitch is the best one to hit sometimes. I didn't see if it was off the plate. Not a good pitch to go after. That might be the case, but we got to be ready to go there. I don't even know what that means. Outside of that, Boone then went and said, yeah, a little bit of everything. I mean, right now, when you're not scoring runs, they're keeping us in the ballpark. Tonight was a little bit of both. You know, where I thought we had a number of balls on the screws, even they're late. Cody Bellinger just misses a couple to right. Goldie stepped on that ball to left center, so we're barreling some balls up. But then, with that said, we're not punching any across, not hitting the home run, you know? And we had a couple of situations where we could have produced a run in the late and we weren't able to take advantage of it. Now, look, in fairness to Goldschmidt and Bellinger, any other day, that Bellinger shot is a home run. The way it popped off the bat looked like a home run. Bellinger knew it wasn't. You could see the way he was walking with his bat in his right hand that was just not going to be a home run in his eyes. He saw it. He knew it was happening. It was raining. It was windy. It was blowing the ball back. Goldie's looked like it was going to carry as well, and the ball died out there just because of the weather, and that sucks. But the Angels still scored a run, so I frankly don't care. Like, it's one of those situations that, yeah, any other night, Bellinger hits a home run, but you could also say any other night, Aaron Judge catches that ball in center field and the Yankees don't blow a lead and lose at home in Game 5 in the World Series. So you can't really go by that. I think it's a terrible excuse being like, well, in a different situation, he would have made it. It's like in any sport if that happens. Like, Jalen Brunson misses a wide open 3 to win the game and the Knicks lose by 1. It's like, well, any other night, Jalen Brunson probably hits a wide open 3. Yeah, so what? He didn't. And I mean, Jalen Brunson did hit the wide open 3 against the Pistons, but this isn't Knicks Digest. Subscribe to that if you want to. But look, with this Yankees team, it was just a disappointing run. Like, you didn't score a run at all. And yeah, Goldie did well. He hit that ball out hard, and same for Belly, but they weren't home runs. So what are we going to say? Well, we almost hit home runs and said they were flyouts. Like, that's such a stupid excuse when the Angels hit a grounder down the left field line and scored a run, and then boom, Yankees don't score back, even with a man on second, and it's just, you load the bases, and Anthony Volpe just completely sells because he wants to swing at the first pitch and just grounds out, and then is all upset at himself, as he should be, because he screwed up. Look, guys, it's really frustrating. Aaron Boone's Yankees right now, 12-14 in 1-run games and 3-6 in 2-run games, 1-5 in extra innings. That's 15-20 with games decided by 2 runs or less. So Boone is 27-9, as WNY Yankees mentioned, in games that he doesn't have to do anything. That's not fully correct, but the sentiment stays that the Yankees are losing close games. They have a losing record in close games, despite the fact that they're still first in the American League by 2.5 games, so they're still holding on, but they've dropped their last 4 games. They hadn't been swept in a series yet, and now they also hadn't lost 4 straight games, and both of those things have now happened. There was 5 teams left who did it. Now there's 4, because the Yankees are now one of those teams, one of the 26 teams that has lost 4 straight games, because they screwed this one up. They screwed up against the Red Sox, and it was an ugly series there. They screwed this one up as well, and it's just frankly really, really frustrating to watch. I mean, you can blame more people than Anthony Volpe, and in fact you should, but still, it's getting really, really frustrating to watch as Yankee fans just like, some Yankee fans defend him. It's a civil war over Anthony Volpe right now. And look, I'm not saying Volpe's a bad player. He's not. But Yankee fans are clearly sick of this, saying that he's trash, saying, I don't understand why anyone in this likes Anthony Volpe, why anyone in this fan base likes Volpe. Volpe's a bad player. Just saying all this stuff. Where are the Volpe defenders at? Anthony Volpe I'm not going to say that. But look, basically what we're seeing is a situation where Yankee fans are turning on Volpe. Volpe, look, he's not some terrible player. He's got a 1.9 WAR. He's got a 241 batting average. He's hitting with a 746 OPS. It's .004 below average. He's got an OPS plus of 108. That's 8 above average. He's got 8 stolen bases. He's good at that. He has 8 home runs. That's not bad. It's just, he's clearly not what we all thought he was supposed to be. And I think Yankee fans just like, especially get upset. One, he was a high draft pick. We expect better, and that's fair. He was picked in the first round. Outside of that, though, the fact that Gunnar Henderson was taken a couple spots later really is what leaves the sour taste in Yankee fans' mouth. And it should. They screwed up because they wanted to draft someone from Jersey instead. So that was a swing and a miss, like Volpe usually does. So there's that. That was not fair. I'm sorry, Anthony. I shouldn't have said that. But he did hit the grand slam in the World Series, and now that definitely bought him some time from Yankee fans who have now once again turned right back on Volpe again, and it makes sense why in a lot of ways, unfortunately. Look, as SNY mentioned, New York has gone 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position and has left 12 men on base during this losing streak. Their last run came in the top of the 9th inning of Saturday's 4-3 loss, with Anthony Volpe driving in 1 run on a ground out. So all that being said, as much as we do want to kind of trash Anthony Volpe for that at bat, he is also the last guy to get a run in. And on top of that, you can't blame Volpe for that. You can't. There's no reason to blame Anthony Volpe for the fact they're 1 for 18. Like, you just can't. He's not batting 18 times. So it's not his fault there. Yes, he should be better. I'm not saying he shouldn't be, but that's not his fault. Aaron Boone has to do something. He has to work on something. He has to see these numbers and be like, this is not good. This is an issue. We have to rectify this issue. And it feels like he's not doing that. And it becomes this thing of, we want Brian Cashman to fire him, but we know he's not going to. And on top of that, we probably as a fan base would like Brian Cashman to look into other shortstop options, but you look at Spotrac right now, you look at the free agents going into next season at that shortstop position. It's not like it's some banger of a class, if we're being honest. It's not like there's a bunch of big names. The biggest name and arguably the best player here is Bo Bichette, who has been linked to the Yankees in some trades already. It's not like he's playing better offense than Volpe. In fact, he's playing worse offense than Volpe. Yeah, his batting average is higher at a 268, but the OPS plus, both lower. So it's not like there's some huge difference between Bo Bichette right here and Anthony Volpe. We see Volpe 746 OPS. We see Bichette 723. Bichette has the 268 batting average, where Volpe has the 241 batting average. Each have 8 stolen bases and 8 home runs, and Volpe has 8 stolen bases. Bichette has 4. It's not like there's a big difference. Volpe's slugging percentage is higher. Bichette's OPS on base percentage is also still lower. So it becomes this thing of Volpe's still a good fielder as well. So do you really make a trade like this? No, you probably don't, unless you're buying super low and want to move Bichette to third base. That's the only situation in which this makes sense, because in theory, in practice, he's better than any third baseman you could have, and you could throw Jazz back to second. But also, DJ LeMahieu's had a few moments, so it becomes this thing of, what are you really going to do? Is this really an upgrade? Not really. So it becomes a tough situation to navigate for the Yankees, but clearly they do have to get better. They are trying to win a World Series, so you got to improve this roster. I'm not saying you have to take Volpe out of that shortstop role yet, but you do have to really consider that he might not be the guy that you wanted him to be. And Peraza's not doing anything either, so it doesn't really help that that's happening either. So it's going to be interesting to find out what the Yankees do. What do you want to see them do? Let me know in the comments down below. I will be sure to get back to you. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Yankees.